Welcome to Rolled Worlds, and I'm Sean Roberts, the writer. All right, so this video is going to be talking about Miador, which is the country of Qualics that exist within the world of Tanu. So Miador means mother to many of the other outside countries, but it actually has a different name, like to Qualics themselves. The Federation of Ergotocratic Tribes of Qualics. The entire continent of Qualic tribes have completely come together in recent years in opposition to the Techite colony of Heartstrom. They view their land as unlawfully taken from them by Tekanor, and Tekanor is the steampunk, technologically advanced human race that exists within the world of Tanu. The geography of the southern part of Miador, which is the entire country, consists of open prairies and rolling hills called the Fields of Quiet Screams, with a small sea located in the center of the continent called Roaring Heart, for it is the center and has very strong and tumultuous waves. The southern half is lacking in large quantities of trees due to deforestation by the Heartstrom colony. Large areas of land can be made up of stumps because of the deforestation. The northern half is separated from the south by a decent-sized forest called Our Last Leap, for they acknowledge that death brings them back to nature, and they consider the forest to be a divine place because that's where the pools were found that blessed the first Qualics. The rest of the north is covered by large quantities of mountains called the Hardfoot, for those who live there must acquire strong feet to walk among all the rocky ground. A long river runs from the northern tip down through the continent called the Flowing Vein. And when it comes to the people and society, the population of Miador consists of about 40,000 people. The Qualics were brought into the world through the magic of Neaya herself. She blessed pools of water upon Tanu with the ability to bring humanoid shape, sentience, and knowledge to the hunted of the world. The first Qualic blessed was a crocodile that was named Sharply Wise by Neaya. She came down and spoke with this crocodile and explained its new situation. After days of speaking together, the crocodile spent the rest of her life finding new animals to bring to the pool she found and to have them drink from it and become part of the new race called Qualics. In their own language, the name of the Qualics means the delivered, and their entire culture respects and shows gratitude towards Neaya, but does not wish to continue spiritually beyond becoming part of the growing world around them. This religion is called Tanis, named after the planet of Tanu. The Qualics have many tribes that are decentralized and do not recognize any as governing over anyone. They are simply communities of Qualics who live with each other. Their society puts a lot of importance on shared labor and communal responsibility. They are almost obsessive in their tasks, with everyone working together towards a single task. Once completed, they move on to the next task as one whole community. Some tribes are more exclusive in their species or may even be of one single species, while many communities are made up of many different herbivores or carnivores, with few tribes mixing herbivores and carnivores together due to hunting animals that might be of the same species as one of the Qualics in the tribe. Qualics range in height from small to large in size depending on the animal that they descended from. When it comes to their government, I mentioned that they are an ergotocracy, where those who work together are those who reap rewards and help those who cannot help themselves. An ergotocracy is governed by the labor force, so the workers. When one refuses to help in the communal tasks, that one is simply excluded from the benefits that comes later from that task. Reward is distributed evenly among those who took part in the task. The tribes in recent years have decided to consider all of them part of Miador as a single country in the goal to defeat and push out the Techites of Heartstrom. At times, conflicts occur between tribes but are settled between the two and then unified upon conclusion. regardless of whether one of them might get wiped out or if there might be hostile tensions between them. At the end of the day, they are considered unified again for the good of Miador's solidarity against Heartstrom and the Techites. The flag of Miador was chosen upon the unification against Tech Honor. That flag consisted of a brown square with a silhouette of a crocodile head upon it. The economy is due to a somewhat xenophobic nature harbored by Qualics due to their experiences with Techites. Many tribes do not wish to trade or experience the outside world beyond Miador. This creates an isolationistic mindset within their country and puts a lot of effort into self-preservation and self-reliance. Their entire economy is based on internal trade between tribes' resources and not mineral wealth. Resources. Fish make up a lot of their food when it comes to being carnivores due to not many aquatic Qualics existing within Miador. Any aquatic Qualics usually exist out in the ocean or more wild and part of their own groups that don't really consider themselves part of Miador. So not a lot of fish Qualics exist in the world because of that. Wood, wild agriculture of berries, nuts, and edible flowers. Stone is also harvested for weapons by the herbivores, along with wood to make spears and other things like that. When it comes to their relations with the outside world, Miador has an abysmal relation with Tech Honor. Due to everything that I've talked about, the colonies of Heartstroms have tried to enslave the people of Miador, and has also destroyed a lot of the natural landscape of Miador in the hopes to reap the resources from the continent, and have had entire wars occur between this colony and the entire country of Miador. The only reason that Heartstrom does well in these wars and is able to hold its ground against an entire nation of tribes is because of the decentralized form of government that these tribes have with each other, not really being able to organize as well, and also because of the higher level of technology that Tech Honor has that they can use against the Miadorians. They have a neutral to slightly hostile relation with most other countries due to their fear of outsiders that have been created due to their relationships with Techites. The Fey countries have managed to broach good relations with Miador through continued communication and showing of good faith towards the world itself. So their naturalistic approach has made the Miadorians look at them and appreciate them, and to actually consider them good. Espazio has managed to also create a tie with Miador due to also being of a primitive technological level, and have considered themselves allies against those who attack each other. So they have sort of a defensive alliance, not a militaristic alliance where they would attack each other's opponents, but if one is attacked, they would consider defending the other. Miadorians have not gained a lot of knowledge about the true nature of Espazio, but consider them friends due to ambassadors from Espazio being sent to broach and form alliances with Miador. When it comes to their army, they have 12,000 average and 2,000 strong for their army. Their navy consists of only 2,000 average. So they don't have that great of a navy. They don't try to go out very far from their own continent. And then when it comes to their air force, they have 8,000 weak, made up of a lot of bird Qualics and stuff, and 2,000 strong, made up of some other bird Qualics, but just larger birds, larger and stronger birds. When it comes to national issues, they are attempting to replant much of the prairies with the forests that once were. So the prairies are not naturally occurring. They were there due to deforestation, and they're trying to regrow the forest upon the continent. Dealing with many endangered species on their continent due to the deforestation that occurred. wishing to remove the Techite colonists from their homeland, dealing with a strong and strange disease that seems to pop up in waves that deals with purple, slimy mushrooms that grow on the continent. Removal of them requires great care to be taken, not to touch them with their skin or come into contact with the wet or dried slime. The disease that happens ends up causing them to have weakened lungs and to eventually die from liquid forming inside their lungs. They also wish to deal with a specific tribe of Komodo dragon Qualics who have grown in number on the northern edges of the continent, who view themselves as destroyers of the non-delivered. This tribe is calling itself the Rotted Biter Clan, due to the rot that can occur and the kind of attack that Komodo dragons naturally have with their bite. The numbers of other Qualics flocking to this tribe is growing, with an ever-growing expansionist mindset starting to happen inside the country, and the desire to conquer other nations for the good of the planet. International issues: the Heartstrom colony has the support of the Techite Empire due to it being their own colony, and also has the backing of Bladlark due to the great natural resources of Miador that Heartstrom sends its way. Bladlark is the trading center of the entire world. All countries send their goods to Bladlark, which is kind of in a good middle point on the planet, and then Bladlark then turns all those resources around and sells them back to other countries. It becomes a lot easier for many of the countries to sell directly to Bladlark rather than having to form different trade routes amongst many different countries. It becomes a lot more financially easy for all these countries to do this, but they're also finding that they're losing some money on these trades because Bladlark is starting to be able to monopolize on trade deals because of this, and a lot of countries are running out of options when it comes to being able to trade with others because other countries are trading directly to Bladlark. It's kind of becoming the Amazon corporation inside of Tanu. That's kind of what Bladlark is becoming. And it's destroying a lot of smaller trade and business within the planet. So Bladlark supports the colony of Heartstrom due to the great natural resources of Miador that get sent to Heartstrom. And this dual enemy causes a lot of global tension and unease among those who wish to befriend Miador, since Bladlark has such a strong hold on the trade and economy of the entire planet. And so many who might want to support Miador and stand against Tech Honor for whether it's humanitarian reasons and wanting to help Miadorians, or as kind of a stick it to Tech Honor, since many countries don't like Tech Honor due to Tech Honor being such an expansionist and conquering nation. Which is why a lot of Miadorians are starting to flock towards the Rotted Biter clan, as a way to, if we can't get protection from others to come to us, then we are going to go out and destroy those who wish to hurt us. But yeah, so that's Miador in a nutshell. And when it comes to the different types of looks to these people, they're mostly, like I said, small to large in size, and they look like kind of a furry or an anthropomorphized version of an animal that can speak, and they usually have thumbs, and they can do a lot of things that humans are able to do, like expressing emotion or walking around on two legs and other things like that. And they have humanoid level sentience, so they can do things, and they're blessed by the goddess Neaya, from these magical pools, and those are like the two ways that a Miadorian can come into existence. Well, a Qualic can come into existence is through either being an animal that was wild and then came across one of these blessed pools and drank from it and became a Qualic, and changed physically and mentally because of it, or to be born from another Qualic. And if two Qualics breed with each other that are different species, it'll either come out one or the other. Usually, it's not the situation where, like, if a lion Qualic and a wolf Qualic bred together, they'd create some wolf lion hybrid. Like, that's usually not the case. It can happen, but usually it comes out one or the other. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown of the continent of Miador. Please subscribe, like, and comment down below in order to help with, the algorithm and stuff. And comment down below any specific countries, races, gods, or anything that you would like me to do a video on next. Thanks.